What's going on, everybody? Pete, Belinda, and Pompey here for this week's Tidbit Thursday. RE Solutions in the house, and today we're going to be talking about protesting your property taxes, because a lot of people have been calling us, asking us about what can they do because their appraisals came back pretty high. I know mine came up in the 70,000 plus. Yours came up in the
130,000 extra is what my house acquired by me and my wife making sure to
mow the grass
and
yeah.
mop our living room. I guess that added $130,000 value. So we have an expert today that's going to assist us and be able to give you some guidance, all of us some guidance on how to kind of move forward with that.
Basically just give you some information on what you can do so that they can do stuff for you and stuff like that. So that's going to be next. Stay tuned. Ooh.
All right. And we're back. Today we have Craig from Home Tax Shield.
Craig Hancock from Home Tax Shield. And first of all, Craig, we want to welcome you to our Tidbit Thursday. I know this was a last minute thing for you, and we want to thank you
Thank you so much.
Yeah, because I know you're busy right now. I know you're probably getting all
it's kind of crazy right now, yes. But it's great. Yeah, it's great to be here with y'all. And
awesome.
Look forward to diving into some topics and answering some questions and trying to help as much as we can. I know and recognize that even for real estate professionals, the world of property taxes is insanely confusing. So homeowners are really at a disadvantage. And so we love the chance to help out whenever we can, bring people a little bit more into the fold about how this whole thing works and what they can do.
So first question for me is, how did you get into this business and how long have you been doing it?
Yeah, so I'm a glutton for what I would call really challenging, complex data problems.
Nice.
Okay. And so when I find an industry or a situation where the data is horribly challenging, very complex, but if it could be solved, it could unleash a tremendous amount of value for people in that industry, then I love those kinds of things. I've done it in commercial real estate. I've done it in the stock market, and I'm now doing it in the property tax world. And the data in the property tax world is really intense. And the whole game of property taxes, what the counties do, and then what we as homeowners and real estate professionals can do, it's all about data and all about using data to your advantage in this whole conversation. So I've been involved in this for 3 years now. The company, Home Tax Shield, and its investors and founders have been in this business for nearly a decade overall. But the Home Tax Shield brand is brand new, and we launched it specifically because we saw that most Texas homeowners are woefully underserved from the tax professionals in Texas. Most of the tax professionals prefer to deal with commercial buildings, big multifamily complexes that cost many millions of dollars. And so the idea of serving a homeowner whose home is $300,000 or even $400,000 isn't very enticing to most of the professionals. And so as a result, over the last 5 to 10 years, 80 to 85% of Texas homeowners are not served or do not protest their property taxes, which is just astounding to me. So that's why we're in business. We want to help homeowners exclusively and particularly make sure they don't overpay their property tax bill.
That's awesome.
I know. This is the first year that I really raised an eyebrow with wow. And I know I've had some clients that are panicking because they feel like they're going to be taxed out of their home. So that's how we end up kind of getting a chance to meet you.
Also had we do property management, and we've had several of our owners that, albeit whether they're in state or out of state, many of our owners have been emailing and calling us asking kind of, hey, Pete, Pompey, what can we do? We just got these appraisals and they're through the roof, thousands and thousands of dollars. We're not talking 3 to 5. It's 50, 70, 90, over 100 in some cases based on the property.
Yeah.
So kind of what do we do? And I feel bad when I have to look at my clients and be like, I'm not sure. We're going to have to research it and get back to you. I'm worried about my own home just as bad.
Yeah.
I was like, what can we do?
Which is funny because we actually have a brand new owner that's signing up. She hasn't even signed up yet, but she's signing up. She has a house here. She lives in California. Her daughter was the one living in the house, but her daughter is military. She's actually leaving. So we're going to be managing her property. But that was her first question, was the property tax value that went up, and what can she do, or if she should even try to dispute it. And I was like, well, that's a good question, because my wife and I were trying to think of how we're going to dispute ours. So I'll let you know. She was happy.
Yeah, well, I'd love to share a couple of thoughts on that front, particularly on the idea of property managers and the impact there, because I'm very, very concerned for many thousands of Texans later this year that are renting single family homes. Mm-hmm. Because what's going to happen is if property managers don't proactively take action to try to reduce their tax value on their assets, which helps them in their ROI, which is great. If they don't do that, they're going to have to raise rent to cover the difference. Yes. So it's not just homeowners that are going to be in a pickle that might have trouble paying a property tax bill. The renters could be have a huge problem when they see big rent increases coming later this year. So that's why, I'm excited to help as many people as we can, and the more we can reach, the better, because it's really important this year.
Right. Yeah, and that's a good point too, because just talking to other property management companies, a lot of owners are not renewing their leases with their current tenants because the tenants will not be able to afford the rent increase that they're planning on doing
because of the tax increase,
of the taxes and stuff. Yeah. So, yeah.
So, Craig, how does the whole process work? What does a client have to do in order to sign up?
Yeah, so before I start into this, we do have a great explainer video on property taxes in Texas on our website and our blog. It's maybe a little bit more than you'd ever want to know about property taxes, but it's only 3 minutes. It's great for everybody to watch, kind of get oriented. But here's basically the gist and why we are in such an interesting year for property taxes. So by law, counties have to go reappraise every piece of property in their county every year. And they're required to do it. And they are also required to do it as close to market as they possibly can get. So that, because we all know the real estate market has taken off in a significant way, that is why we're all now dealing with not just 5 or 10% increases, but 30, 50, 60% increases in property tax values. Okay. So the counties are required to do this. So I do have a soft place in my heart for them. They have a really tough job to do, trying to revalue every property in their county every single year and do it well and do it right. So when they do that, because Texas is a non-disclosure state, the county doesn't know what actually transacted at what price in their county. So because they don't know and they're not legally allowed to know, then they have to do their best job at guessing. And so they guess, and their systems are designed to try to guess as well as they can. But as y'all would imagine, they often guess wrong, and they really often guess too high. So because of that, because we live in a great country founded on the principles of no taxation without representation, right? When they're going to tax you on something like this, you have to have a way to be represented. And that process is the appeal or the protest process. And so every property owner, commercial building, homeowner, they are legally allowed to protest their tax value every year. Now, they don't have to do it, but they can. And there's a really tight window in which to choose to do it. And if you miss the window, you cannot do it for back years. So you get one shot a year, every year. And once that shot passes and you don't take it, you can't go back and fix it. And so this year, the deadline is May 16th. And so we very much encourage people to find your address on our site, sign up. A lot of questions will get answered once you find your address about our fees and how it works and all that good stuff. But once you file a protest yourself or through a firm like ours, which we will do that for you, there's about a 2 to 3 month process that we go through to effectively protest your tax value and try to save you some money. I won't bore you with all the particulars, but it involves a lot of data, a lot of conversations with the county, some what they call informal meetings. We actually go to formal meetings as well, which is more of the formal appraisal review board for homeowners. We do all that. So nobody has to worry about that. You don't have to attend with us, and we take care of everything and we let you know how it turned out. And then that's how the system is set up and how it works. So that's a really brief overview. But
so I got a great question that just popped in. So that's wonderful that you do all these things. What's a realistic, because it's obviously unrealistic to expect that your property taxes will remain the same, right? It's going to increase, right? So what's a realistic potential decrease?
Yeah, that's a really good question. One that's really close to my heart, because unfortunately, most of the competitors in the business inevitably overpromise and underdeliver. And they do that because they just want people to sign up. So they're going to promise you thousands of dollars of savings just to get you to sign up. And the reality is, in Texas, the average savings over a 7-year period, the average savings for homeowners that protest is really about $300 a year. Okay. So now to get to that $300, that reduction is usually anywhere between a $10,000 to $20,000 reduction, depending on your tax rate. Mm-hmm. Okay. So on our website, when you find your address, we give you a little estimate on what we think we can save you. Those estimates, a lot of people are actually really disappointed with those because they're so conservative. Gotcha. We are so careful about not over-promising and under-delivering that we don't want to set expectations incorrectly. Now, so all of our estimates are based on historical trends and averages. This year is nothing close to historical. So the numbers this year will be better, but we're not going to ratchet up expectations and end up with disappointed homeowners. The reality is only about 75% of the time, on average, do you get a reduction. Okay, so that means less than, if you protest 5 years in a row, only about 3 or maybe 4 of those 5 years are you going to actually get a reduction. The other couple of years, you're not. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because when you protest, and especially when you have a professional protesting for you, and they fail, if they do it right, like we do, and go all the way through the process, and then they fail to get you a reduction, that's the only legitimate way anybody can honestly tell you that you got a fair value. We can't just look at the data and say, you know what, I think you're good this year. We have to actually try to get you a reduction and then fail, and then we can come back with a straight face and say, look, with everything that we have, with our professionals that have 17 plus years experience, all of our data, we failed. We know you got a fair value this year. It may not feel good, right? It may be frustrated that you're paying more or paying too much, but we know it's fair because of what we did. So,
okay. And
hope that helps.
Because one of the things that when I was doing the research that I found were your fees were very reasonable, and for the amount of work that you guys are going to put forward, and I don't have to lose sleep over it because I know I have a professional expert taking care of it for me. Is it okay if we mention them real fast? Because I was very impressed.
Are you able
to? Please.
Okay.
He's like, yeah, because I'm not saying
Would you like to talk about it, or would you like me to talk about
what? Yeah, let me tell you about it and then tell you why, because I think that's very, very passionate about this. So our fees for a homeowner is $30 per property per year to sign up, and we'll protest. We'll do the whole thing for you for $30. Take your home all the way through the process. In the years that we can save you some money, then we only charge you 30% success fee, which means you keep 70% of all the savings and you only share 30% with us. Most firms are at least 40, and a lot of them are at 50%.
Yeah.
Yes.
because of what firms in our business have done. We don't like that. We think that 50% is a little unfair. It's too much. And we found a sweet spot, we believe, in the 30% range. Most homeowners that I've talked to in the last 3 years, $30 and then 30% is a very fair, comfortable price for most homeowners to afford. And so we've kind of settled in there. And it's by design. We tried to find like, where's the lowest we can go? And the reason we did that is because we want professional property tax services available to everybody, regardless of home value. Because traditionally, a lot of homeowners won't get any attention from our competitors because their home isn't highly valued enough for the professional to make any money. So we serve homeowners of all values, all classes, all races, all creeds, in all counties that we're in. And so we really want to try to make it affordable for everybody to have access to this.
And,
That's awesome.
And that was amazing. That was like one of the biggest things that really attracted me to it. So thank you guys.
And as far as doing it year after year, is it you just have to sign up once and y'all keep doing it every year, or do we have to sign up every year? How does that work?
Yeah, so that we have designed our process and our business to auto renew every year. Okay, so it's a subscription. You can cancel at any time. It's super easy to cancel. You pull your property off, and if you don't want us to do it that year, that's totally fine. But we do the subscription and the auto renewal because you'd be surprised that, or maybe not, how many homeowners forget.
We're in the property management business. We know.
Yep. So they forget, or they look at their value they got and they're like, I think that's okay. I think I'll just stick with it this year. When in reality, if we go at it, we probably can get you a reduction. So it's actually in the homeowner's best interest for us to just let us do this every year for $30. It's only $30 a year. Some people think it's $30 a month. It's $30 per year. That's it. So, depending on what kind of coffee drinker you are, it's 4 or 5 coffees,
Just black.
Maybe a few more.
So when does your process normally start?
So the process starts when the homeowner finds their address on our website. And that's when we start giving them some information about their home that's public, that we have from the county. Then we give them some of our estimates on what we think we can save them, what their fees might be if we're successful in that capacity, and all the good marketing and ancillary explanations about what's next and how this works. But once they sign up that property, then our army of computers and people take over from there. We file all the paperwork with the county to make sure that we can represent the homeowner. We file the protests, always before the deadline, of course. We crank out all the data necessary to effectively protest. We put that really high quality data in the hands of very tenured tax agents, and they go to work on every single home. And it takes 2 or 3 months. So some people get a little impatient, but to do it right, it really takes a few months of time and effort.
Right. So if a homeowner's already started, if they filed their protest already and decide like, you know what, this is a lot, it's too much work, can they still then hire you guys to follow through for them?
I really wish I could say yes to that question, but unfortunately I have to say no. And the reason is because you only get one shot to protest every year. And so if you take that shot and then want to pull it back and then give us the shot, there's no second shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I wish it wasn't that way, but unfortunately for folks that have filed a protest already with the county, we can't help them this year. We highly encourage they sign up for us earlier next year and let us handle everything. But yeah.
So the 2 to 3 month process that you're saying, is there a communication that goes back and forth with the actual homeowner, or do they just have to wait the 2 to 3 months?
It's mostly waiting, because by the time we file the protest with the county, we don't know at that point in time if it's going to take 1 conversation, 2 conversations, 3. It could take 3. It could take informal and formal. And so what we do while our tax agents are doing their thing is we have a homeowner the homeowner has an account where they can go to their account and their property, and they can see the status of every home. If you have a bunch of homes, you're going to see a status for every home. And as soon as we have results for one of your homes, it will get updated on your account, and you'll see what the results are, what your savings are, and all the good stuff.
Awesome.
It's really cool. You've been so thorough. I don't have any questions. Like,
I don't have any questions either. Do you?
I'm just ready to sign up. I don't know. I got nothing else.
So I saw that there's this nifty little website to sign up that Belinda had signed up.
The ticker back on.
Oh.
I'm sorry. That Belinda had put on there.
To send out to like our clients.
Right. So
Yep.
I guess we're going to create another one for the
Our
partnership.
group. Yeah.
And then we will be able to send that out to all of our owners and all of our, actually all of our leads in our database, because
They can get some help too.
Yeah.
Like,
so
that's amazing. Thank you. And we're going to edit, not create a new one. Sorry, create two.
yeah, create two. Create two by mistake. Any last minute things you want to throw in there, Craig?
No, I think that's good. I think the other kind of little important thing to talk about this year is the Homestead Cap. Okay.
Oh.
A lot of homeowners are receiving values that are well above 10%, the 10% cap, right? And so they're a little confused on this. If you have a homestead exemption and you receive an appraisal notice where the appraisal value is way over 10%, that's actually correct, because the county is allowed to raise your appraisal value as much as you let them. It's the assessed value, or the value that you're taxed on, that they are not allowed to raise more than 10%. So you may have, your home may be appraised at $500,000, but you may have an actual tax assessed value at $400,000. Okay. And so that's a situation where we have to come in and we have to lower your appraised value, the $500,000 value. We have to lower that below your assessed value to save you money this year. Otherwise, it won't save you any money. Okay. And so we don't charge for that. We'll do all that work, and if we lower it from 500 to 450 and we don't get it below the 400, then we won't charge for that. However, by lowering it from 500 to 450, then you are preventing the county from locking in future years of tax increases.
Mm-hmm.
And when they come back next year to increase you again, instead of starting at 500, they have to start at 450. And so even though you may not save money on a protest this year because of your cap, we still really encourage people to let us go after it and get that value down, because it's only really after multiple years of putting downward pressure on your tax value, on your appraised value. That's how you create the best property tax scenario. And you can't let up. You got to do it every year.
You guys have like a servant's heart. That's all I'm going to say.
That's awesome.
It's a lot of work, but a lot of people need help, so.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. We really appreciate you being on here and giving us this information. Obviously, it's key because a lot of people are talking about it. So it's key for a lot of our owners and just individuals that we're going to be putting out this information to and stuff. Great. One quick question: that folded flag in the back, what's that for?
Oh, yes. I got the opportunity to serve in the Air Force years ago. And so I was in the satellite business back before Elon Musk made it really popular. So,
how long ago?
I served from 1996 into 2001.
Okay.
So, thank you for your service.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It was
you're
a really great opportunity.
You're looking at 3 Air Force individuals. So.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. Me and Pompey retired. Belinda got out in 7 years. Yeah. So now y'all know where some of the servant's heart stuff comes from. Yeah, there you go.
We want to help people.
We get it.
So,
well,
all
thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being on here with us. Like I said, we'll be posting this on our YouTube channel, and you'll see it again on Facebook and stuff. But we'll send you the link. And
great.
Hopefully,
do we need to send you some coffee too? Because I know you guys are gonna get inundated.
Yeah, probably.
I've got Amazon shipments of extra coffee on the way.
Awesome.
Enjoyed it. Good to meet you guys.
Nice meeting you. Take care. All right.
Take care.
You too. That's awesome.
That's great stuff.
That's a lot of
there.
information.
That was. I'm still downloading it and
Yeah,
processing it.
I want
as
to
we
sign
speak.
up right now because
And I
May
do know
16th, right? He said it has to happen if you're going to sign up. So anybody watching,
yeah, before then. And
before May 16th.
I do believe like if you have additional questions, you can go to your county assessor website, whether it be Bear County, Comal County, Ascota, and they have some information there for you too. And you can legally file, and you can do this on your own. I just look at it as why would you, unless you have a lot of time,
Right?
And you're
And
good
just
with
the
that.
expertise of doing
Yes.
it. They do this every day.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like us, right?
Right.
Anybody can sell their house and go through a lawyer, but
why would you want to do that?
Why would you want to?
You would want somebody who's the expert in the field to
exactly
take care of you.
So you can sip coffee like Pete's doing right now.
And know that my taxes are going to be lowered.
Exactly. Or, at least thoroughly looked into.
Looked into. And if it's not lowered, then
it costs you $30.
It costs me $30.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'll have that on record for next year.
Yes.
That I had disputed it. And
and they do it, that annual membership fee is they'll file for you every year.
Yes.
So that's really
awesome.
cool. They really are looking out for people, and it trickles down.
Yep. So we will be putting the link down below for you to contact them or sign up with Texas. What is it? Texas Home
Shield.
No, it's
Taxes Home Shield.
Texas
Home Tax Shield.
There you go.
It's because
we're gonna edit this.
there's
Sorry,
a
Home Tax Shield.
there is a home warranty that's very similar in name.
Right.
That's why I have to. It's Home Tax Shield. They're protecting your
home.
It's
gonna be a
link
below. Link below. I may not edit it, but it's in the link below.
Yes.
But anyway, it was good talking to Craig today. As far as any other announcements, we don't have anything other than our next seminar, which is going to be on May 14th. I know that date now. May 14th is going to be our sellers seminar. That's going to be at the Fairlawn office for Align Mortgage. Obviously, we're going to have other seminars after that too. So, but
he will take care of it. He'll post it out.
You'll see it on Facebook. But anyway, thanks for being with us today. That one person that was watching throughout the whole thing.
We appreciate you.
We appreciate you. It's probably I can't say her name. But anyway, y'all have a good week, and we will talk to you next Thursday.